This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
This is your WXCO Daily News Roundup for Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 FM and 1230 AM in Wausau.
For WXCO News, I'm Brittany Merlot. Wind chills are wicked today. Be sure to cover all exposed skin. Frostbite can happen in as little as 30 minutes. Frostbite symptoms can include pain, numbness, swelling, blisters, and skin discoloration. It's most commonly seen on your fingers, toes, nose, and ears. And it may lead to permanent, irreversible tissue damage. So limit your time outdoors and warm up your body often. If you believe that you have frostbite, go inside and seek shelter. And never rub it warm. You'll damage the freezing cells even further. And frostbite symptoms appear in 3 stages that include feeling cold, sore, and painful, which is frost nip, then pins and needles, which is surface frostbite, and lastly, numbness indicates a deep frostbite. And Wisconsin gets a C for its gun laws. Lisa Hale has more.
The balance of the legislature is changing, and some advocates hope that gun laws will get more attention. The Giffords Law Center compares a state's gun laws with that state's deadly outcomes, and according to Lindsay Nichols from the center, they find the same results every time. The stronger the state's gun laws, the lower the death rate, and the weaker the laws, the more people who die.
We know that these gun laws work, and there really is no reason why legislators shouldn't be taking action to prevent these tragedies.
While Wisconsin has enacted basic gun safety laws, she notes that the state could also pass bans on assault weapons or high-capacity magazines, or lengthen the waiting time for a firearms purchase. She says the state could also benefit from red flag laws. Despite public pressure for new gun safety laws in 2020, Wisconsin has not passed any significant gun legislation in years. Democrats have tried unsuccessfully to introduce at least 30 gun safety measures since 2019.
A study published last week showed that there are additional ways PFAS is getting into drinking water. With more, here's Jimmy Kuska.
A study on PFAS in wastewater shows an increase in the so-called forever chemicals, a concerning trend as nearly half of all drinking water in the U.S. is contaminated with PFAS. Scientists said that some of the factors for the increase include use of the chemicals in medication and the effects of drought on local water systems. Without natural water to dilute chemicals in wastewater, PFAS concentrations can be higher. The study was published yesterday in the National Academy of Sciences.
And turning on the heat in the winter can draw radioactive radon gas into your home. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services Radon Program Manager, Amanda Kosh, says a simple test can help you find out if you need to get your home treated. You can get discounted tests through the end of the month. Radon is one of the leading causes of lung cancer, right behind smoking. You can find out more online at lowradon.org. And if you're cold, your animals are too. Just like people, pets' cold tolerance can vary from pet to pet based on their coat, body fat, activity level, and health. So be aware and adjust accordingly. You may need to shorten your dog's walks in these frigid temperatures, and short-haired pets and short-legged pets may also become colder faster because their bellies and bodies are more likely to come in contact with the snow-covered ground. And pets with diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, and hormonal imbalances may also have a harder time regulating their body temperatures. The same goes for very old and very young animals. Some things you can do is provide choices or stay inside. Play dress up and consider a dog sweater or a coat. And always check their paws. They could crack or bleed from stepping on ice and are also prone to frostbite just like us. So if your pet is whining, shivering, seems anxious, slows down, or stops moving, or if they seem weak or start looking for warm places to burrow, get them inside quickly because they're showing signs of hypothermia. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers announced record enrollment through the Affordable Care Act in Wisconsin. Over 306,000 residents have enrolled in the program this year, a more than 40,000 person increase over last year's record. Those numbers could continue to climb as well, with the open enrollment period open until Wednesday. Anyone interested in enrolling can find out more information on wiscovered.com, and you can explore your coverage options on healthcare.gov. And there is a lot of excitement brewing over the NFL draft that is coming to Green Bay in just over 3 months. Lisa Hale has more.
People are listing their homes on sites such as Airbnb and Vrbo to make a little cash. Michael Friedman with Simple Life Hospitality, which manages vacation properties, says don't cut corners. Make sure you get the proper permits through your local municipality.
People are getting cited already. They're getting their initial warning letter from the city of Green Bay stating that your home is listed and it does not have the proper permitting.
Friedman says Green Bay is not the only local municipality that is checking permits, so it's best to do everything by the book.
If people think they're going to get away with trying to do this and skate by not having the proper licensing and permitting, and they're not going to get caught, I will tell everyone who's listening or watching, don't do it. You're going to get caught and you're going to get busted, and then ultimately you're going to get fined, and it is going to be significant.
The NFL Draft comes to Green Bay April 24th through the 26th.
And gas prices fell nearly 4 cents last week. The average across the state today is $2.79. Officials at Gas Buddy say the cold temperatures could impact prices if refiners face disruptions. Gas prices in central Wisconsin today range from $2.72 to $2.89. Advocates are hoping the new legislature addresses gun safety in Wisconsin. Lisa Hale has more.
While Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul has called for a holistic approach, gun violence prevention advocates say prevention starts with stronger gun laws. Lindsay Nichols with the Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence says the state could require universal background checks for gun purchases or raise the age for gun possession.
We know that some of these shooters are young people themselves, and there are plenty of policies, for example, to keep guns out of the hands of youth. These are laws that some states have passed and some haven't. So we need action from our lawmakers to prevent and protect our kids.
Many states have red flag laws where families, victims, or authorities can go to court for what's essentially like an emergency restraining order where a judge can order someone to temporarily give up their firearms. A red flag law was invoked in California when authorities found a man who said he had been communicating with the Abundant Life shooter and planning tandem attacks. Wisconsin also doesn't have any laws that require guns to be stored in a certain way.
And if you see a sick or dying bird, don't touch it. Marshfield city officials are reinforcing the DNR's advice to minimize contact with wildlife that looks sick because of avian influenza. Several wild geese were found on the ice at Wildwood Park's upper and lower ponds last month. These were not zoo animals and were removed after ice conditions were safe. Soon after, a barn owl and crow were also found dead. The avian influenza test results are still pending, and the animals at Wildwood Zoo are being monitored, and currently, all animals in the zoo are free from the illness. And if you keep backyard chickens, you should remain vigilant and practice good hygiene. And if you see dead or sick birds, report them to the DNR immediately. I'm Brittany Merlot for WXCO.
The Packers lose to the Eagles. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Packers fell behind early and lost to the Eagles 22-10 to bring Green Bay's season to an end. Head coach Matt LaFleur.
You can't start the way that we did and to fumble the opening kick and then turn it into a touchdown and be down 7-0 from the jump. You know, it was obviously too much to overcome. But I appreciate the heck out of our guys in that locker room. Those guys show up every day with a great attitude, great energy, and compete. And I thought our guys competed to the final whistle.
Quarterback Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions in the game and was asked what happened to the Packers offense in losses to Minnesota, Chicago, and now Philadelphia.
I'm not sure. It's something that we'll look at and figure out in the offseason to clean up. But, it's pretty much just comes down to executing and making plays out there, and just wasn't good enough.
NBA, the Bucks losing to the Knicks 140-106. New York's Jalen Brunson with 41 points. The Bucks host the Sacramento Kings tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. There have been many tragic stories about celebrities losing their homes in the Los Angeles wildfires. One celebrity, Sharon Stone, is going above and beyond to help those who have nothing as a result of the catastrophe. The Oscar-winning actress set up a co-op in her home where people can drop off clothes and food and has multiple friends and family who are homeless staying with her. Stone is also setting up a shelter for evacuees. Nice story. The film Better Man follows the life and adventures of a cocaine-snorting and sex-addicted monkey. The character is narrated by British pop sensation Robbie Williams because it's Williams who is being portrayed by the monkey. Williams told the Associated Press that the CGI monkey was cast perfectly because the film is full of his struggles with fame, addiction, and depression. And Williams says his character is more sympathetic that way, as audiences care more for animals than humans. That is brilliant, makes total sense, and is sad all at the same time. Audrey Hepburn is considered one of the greatest movie stars of all time. Ariana Grande is just getting started with her big screen career comparatively, but there are rumors that she might play the iconic classic Hollywood Oscar winner in an upcoming biopic. Nothing has been confirmed, but it sounds like the Wicked actress is really interested in such a role, telling Access Hollywood that she has always been enamored with old Hollywood. Speaking of Grande, Wicked was just released on video on demand, and it's no surprise that one of the biggest movies of 2024 is seeing sales through the roof. The film is now available to stream in the US and Canada. Wicked pulled in $26 million on its first day of digital release, according to Variety, and ended up with $70 million after its first week. The nice thing about watching Wicked at home is you will not have strangers standing up and singing along. After meeting on the set of School of Rock over 2 decades ago, 2 students are tying the knot. When they were just 10 years old, Angelo Masagli, also referred to as Tough Guy in the film, and Caitlin Hale, a.k.a. Blondie, met while auditioning for the Jack Black film. The child actors connected again in 2018. By then, they had both left acting behind. Masagli is a lawyer, and Hale is now an OBGYN sonographer. The paths we take. Zombie and or Cillian Murphy fans might be upset to know that the actor will not appear in the film 28 years later. There was speculation Cillian's character Jim might be in the new installment when a preview dropped with a zombie that had striking similarities to Murphy. The Oscar-winning Oppenheimer star confirmed he is not in the new film, but is open to appearing in future 28-day films. This third installment is actually the first film in a new trilogy. 28 years later opens in June of this year. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Peach Waba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It's cold out there this morning with a wind chill hovering 20 to 25 below, and we're going to keep that wind chill well below zero all day today. Partly cloudy, 4 above this afternoon, back down to 5 below tonight. Tomorrow, sunshine, 10 above, we're back to the mid-20s by Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 5 below.
That's your WXCO Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at bullfallsradio.com. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.